We've talked about news, sports, and feature stories, but there are a few other stories that make up the newspaper. Two of them are editorials and columns. These help provide personality and passion for the paper. Now, an editorial is usually 300 to 500 words. It's a commentary on a current event. They're traditionally unsigned, so they appear to express the opinion of the newspaper rather than any individual staff member. Next, you have the editorial cartoon. This is artwork combined with commentary that makes a statement about events in graphic form, found on the editorial page. Sometimes they relate to the page's editorial, but sometimes they don't. And sometimes they aren't really editorial at all, and just a place to stick a cartoon in a newspaper. And finally, you have your column. These are signed opinion pieces. They're set apart from the news and the sports stories by being on the opinion page and often including an author's photo and using a drop cap. That's this here, the large capital letter that begins the first paragraph of the column. They also sometimes use a different headline font. So what do you want to write a column about? Anything you want. You can do topical commentary, opinion pieces that react to current political events and social controversies. Personal meditations are another type of column, in which the columnists mine their personal lives for universal truths that resonate with your readers, musing about one's personal and private life. These columns can seem like diary excerpts, sharing painful, poignant, or humorous insights about your families, your friends, and your social relationships. There's also the slice of life column, an opinion piece that reads like a story and captures a slice of the everyday life of ordinary folks. When writing a column, it's important to have a distinctive voice. Ideally, your readers would be able to tell which column was yours, even if your name wasn't with it. Veteran British columnist Keith Waterhouse says if your style isn't easily recognizable, what you have there is not a column, but a signed article. Do your own reporting. Just because it's an opinion piece doesn't mean you get to skimp on the facts. Research public records and conduct your own interviews with sources. Choose worthy topics and avoid jumping on the bandwagon every time a scandal erupts. And always have a backup, something generic and timeless, to run when you just can't think of anything else to write about. These pieces are called evergreen because they can work at any time. They're always around, kind of like an evergreen tree. Readers depend on critics for advice. Whether they are of movies, video games, or dishwashers, the review provides advice to readers on whether something is worth their time and their money. Now, criticism is slightly more complex than a review. It's the study, evaluation, and interpretation of the arts. Criticism ponders the meaning, context, and social significance of an artist's work. With that in mind, most of what you read in print or online is a review rather than a critique. There are a few things to keep in mind when writing a review. You want to make sure that your reviews are structured. Don't ramble and rant. Outline your key points and then provide an analysis of each point, usually a paragraph. Balance reporting with your opinion. Combine both facts and reaction. Provide accurate details of what worked and what didn't. Know your stuff, and don't try to fake it. Be aware of biases. For example, if you hate hip-hop, you probably aren't going to like Kanye West's new album, and therefore you shouldn't be the one to review it. Don't be pompous. Don't use big words to impress your readers. Keep it simple. And don't be cruel. Be tough and fair, yes, but don't insult your readers. Remember that no matter what you are reviewing, it is bound to be someone's favorite. It's okay not to like a certain car, but don't say anyone who drives one is a complete moron. And while we're at it, there are a few other don'ts. Don't reveal plot twists or story endings. Why go see a movie if you know how it's going to end? Whenever I watch a movie with my mother, and she knows that I've seen the movie before, she always asks me what's going to happen. I tell her every time, without fail, that everyone is going to die. Really? No, watch the movie. Don't add unnecessary phrases like, I think, or in my opinion. The whole review is your opinion. Avoid vague adjectives. Be specific and descriptive. Don't be negative of amateur or children's plays. Okay, if Angelina Jolie runs crying from a stage, that's probably worth noting. If 5-year-old Angie Jo does it, so what? She tried. Don't get personal. Criticize the performance, not the performer's private life, their political beliefs, their appearance, etc. And when someone doesn't agree with your review, don't take it personal. Remember, everyone's a critic.